Next time on a very spooky fine dining podcast, the season 1 finale, TGI Fridays the 13th. Oh, you betcha, pineapple's gonna hit the fan as Michael's son Juicy, or in this episode, Juice son Voorhees, goes on a murderous rampage, and no one is safe. It gets real spooky, it gets real bloody, and not everyone's gonna make it to the end of the episode. Who will live, who will die? Listen to Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America, break down a trip to TGI Fridays based on the atmosphere, the service, and the food, and try not to be scared to death. Hear the thrilling finale of Fine Dining, Wednesday, October 25th, wherever you get your podcasts.
It's question time here on Non-Censored, and no, Fiona Bruce, I will not cease or desist. I'm Harriet Langley-Swindon, and this is Time for Questions. Hello and welcome to Non-Censored, the podcast that usually wraps up the best bits from my very real daily radio show into one easy-to-digest highlights package. But this week, we're answering your questions. I'm joined by diversity correspondent Ishan Akbar. Hello, Ishan.
Hello, Harriet. How are you?
Oh, I'm just wonderful. Thank you. Very excited. And I'm also joined by my producer, Martin, who has all the questions.
Yes, indeed. And without any further ado, the first question is from Alex, who says, Dear Harriet, Ishan and Martin, but mostly Harriet, should we force the mainstream media from now on to refer to the RMT union, headed by Mick Lynch, as the Lynch Mob?
That is a really good question.
It's a good question.
Really good question, Alex.
Also a funny name, although perhaps not the most helpful. It's sort of loaded, isn't it? Calling them the Lynch Mob.
It's both funny, but funny in one of those really sad ways, like a crying clown.
Are the RMT specifically going after black members of parliament? Is that why they want to call it a lynch mob?
I suppose that would be the...
No, but Ishan, even worse, Ishan, they're going after Tories.
Oh, yeah, that is worse.
I think on this occasion what they're trying to do is do something funny with Mick Lynch's surname, but now you have raised a very... important issue, which
makes people think, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
About some pretty dark times in American history.
I think the Lynch bit is fine. It's the mob bit, I think, that makes it more associated with the civil rights movement. So maybe they should call it kind of the Lynch Party? The Lynch...
Ooh.
No, because then it's just about his surname. It doesn't have the dark undertones
yes.
Really
of what Mick Lynch is trying to do.
Yes.
Why don't we call it Mickey's Club? You know, the Mickey Lynch Club, like the Mickey Mouse Club.
No, Martin, that gives off...
the Lynch is the problem here, really,
wrong
isn't
vibes, Martin. If you call it the Mickey Club, people think it's a fun thing to join, where you're looked after and your rights are taken care of. Where the Lynch Mob,
Mickey Club.
Now that's different. Exactly, they'll think it's about people doing silly voices. They will not realise the big threat it is.
I'm sorry, Harriet. Ishan, you're going to have to stop doing that impression because we will get sued. I'm not going to mess with the mouse on this. So just please, I have to draw. I know we're all about free speech here, but no impressions of Disney characters.
I do feel like the negotiations would be better if you had that voice, though. Give us more money!
I'm not sure if that is a more credible approach.
It would make him more cuddly, wouldn't it? If he had that voice.
I think it's for all.
Yeah, then we could go, oh, Mick, you naughty little scamp. No, go away. But we could all have a laugh about it. Where now he's got this rather serious voice.
Yeah.
Like it's about a serious issue. That doesn't make anyone laugh.
Well, it's difficult when someone makes, coherent points that seem to resonate with the rest of the public. I think that seems to be the main issue with Mick Lynch. Also, he looks kind of scary, doesn't he? Which is useful.
He also has a terrible surname.
Maybe if he had Mickey Mouse ears on his bald head, that could help things, couldn't it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
anyway,
thank you for that question, Alex.
I think we've answered
Yes,
it.
I think we did answer it very well, yes.
So in answer to your question, should we force the mainstream media to refer to the RMT union as the lynch mob? Probably not. Bit offensive, probably not.
No.
But,
I think we should say yes, but we should do it with like a bracket. So the lynch mob, not the black kind.
Not that one.
So
not like that.
Yeah, lynch mob.
Yeah, there should be a little asterisk so people know that it's not that.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
A little white asterisk.
I think it's an asterisk. But anyway, our next
asterisk
question is from Kieran, who asks, now that the Brexit-hating woke establishment tofu blob is forcing People's Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries out of Parliament, who will stand up for the silent majority? Please tell us the rumours are true and that you will be standing at the next election. Help us, Harriet Langley Swindon. You're our only hope.
Oh,
well,
Kieran,
okay.
Bless you. I'm afraid, Kieran. I'm not. I am, first and foremost, a broadcaster. I am about bringing truth to the people, and this is how I choose to do it.
Yes.
And unlike Nadine, who, bless her, isn't really a professional, I'm a professional at what I do.
Yes.
And this is how I benefit the people, how I benefit you, how I make the world better. You know, I don't sort of fanny around with different career paths like Nadine does, bless her. So thank you so much. No, but don't worry, I will be fighting for the Tories every step of the way in the next election.
I found it interesting there, the parting reference at the end of that question to Star Wars. Help us, Harriet, you're our only hope, therefore putting you in the position of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Kieran as a kind of Princess Leia character there, which, of course, asks the question, Harriet, who is your Luke Skywalker? Who is the Darth Vader in your world?
Who's the daddy?
Well,
I haven't seen Star Wars, so what does that mean?
It's about these sort of men with swords, glowing swords. It's actually very good. It's more complex than that.
Like Mick Lynch's mob.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose he'd be on the Jedi side. Yes.
I mean, look, I know kind of a bit about it. I'm not stupid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that Darth Vader turns out to be a misunderstood figure.
Yes.
And actually just trying to sort of run the universe with quite a sort of paternalistic outlook.
He's full of rage, isn't he? Hatred turned him to the dark side.
Yes.
Sort of not dissimilar to a sort of
sometimes.
But, interesting you say that, Martin, because you say this thing about the dark side. It's a bit like Conservatives getting branded with being called the nasty party.
Yes. Don't do that. As they'd say on Star Wars, it's a trap, you know? Don't go.
It's a trap.
Don't go around, because they just want to force you into this.
Was that...
What was
Sorry,
that?
Ishan, were you doing another impression of a Disney character? We can't, honestly... You've been Chewbacca, right? Owned by Disney.
Chewbacca.
Just cut it out, please. That's no... Because I can't bleep that, can I? How do you bleep it?
It sounds like a bleep, doesn't it? It sounds like a bleep underwater.
Do you know, can I say, although I won't be running in the next election, I would quite like to be a sir.
You'd suit that. You'd suit sir.
And I think I should, for my my services to broadcasting.
Yeah, there are a few people that suit sir. You, Anne Widdecombe. I could see Anne Widdecombe being a sir.
Yes.
Andrew
Dear
Benson.
old Anne.
I
Yes.
think...
we could be the three sirs.
Yes.
It's
The
usually...
three sirs of the apocalypse. Oh, we'd have
Widdecombe,
such fun.
Leadsom,
We'd have
Langley
such fun.
Swindon. Oh, that sounds great.
Yes. We'd show them all. We'd ride on our horses.
Maybe not Anne. I don't think Anne should be riding horses.
No, bless her. She doesn't understand what they are.
No, well, they're complex creatures, aren't they?
Well, anyway, Kieran, thank you for your question. I'm so sorry I can't help, Kieran. I'm so sorry I can't save you all. I would make a very good politician, I know. And maybe one day when I've fulfilled my services to broadcasting, but I think the listeners of Non-Censored need me.
And may I just say, I don't think you can ever fulfil your services to broadcasting because you are the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, Ishan,
Wow,
thank
that's
you.
very kind of you, Ishan. Do you feel the same way about old producer Martin here? The gift that keeps on producing, twiddling those knobs,
No.
busying himself up. No, okay, fair enough. Our next question comes from Annabelle. She says, I saw that Labour are 20 points ahead in the polls. So, my question is, why are the polling companies all lying? I see what you've done there, Annabelle. I suppose we have to assume that
Look,
they're not lying, but
You
Well,
know
Annabelle-
why?
Harriet?
We all know why. Because it happened in 2016, right? They were lying in the polls that the whole country would vote to remain. And then when they lost, it was just really funny. That's the thing, is polling companies do this because it's hilarious.
They're jokers.
Like Ishan, not everyone is a big joker like you, okay? What I'd say with this polling thing is it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You can't trust these polls unless they're from conservativewomen'shome.com. Those polls are really taken with a really heavy pinch of salt.
Yeah,
and actually, I would say, as a Tory supporter and someone who knows a lot about politics and a lot of Tory politicians, that is exactly what we would expect at this time. And that in nowhere indicates a drop of support in the Tories.
My dear grandmother once said to me, never trust Poles, Bulgarians or the Chinese.
Oh,
She
right.
was very clear about it.
I don't think that's what they're talking about, Ishan, but I mean, I understand. Maybe, yes. We'll just push on to the
Maybe
next.
Labour are ahead with the Polish, actually.
Yeah, Poles, they'd like that. All that, substandard.
They're like, oh, great, we can
substandard
come
work.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
They
It's
just
not
work
substandard.
hard,
They're
not
actually,
smart.
I think Polish construction companies are generally.
Well, it is one of the
very
worst
good at-
flags. It's just two colours.
Don't have a pop at that flag. I mean, come on now.
Well, we've got the best flag, haven't we?
Now, a few weeks ago, Harriet suggested crowdsourcing an erotic thriller starring Donald Trump and set
welcome.
in the world of golf called Any Hole's a Goal. And having read a lot of emails, I wish she hadn't done that. However, we do have a question about it from Lynn.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
Yeah, Lynn says, Donald Trump has invited Harriet Langley Swindon to caddy for him at a charity pro amateur golf tournament at his Doonbeg resort. The dress code for all female caddies is cheerleader / Britney Spears in Hit Me Baby. Does Harriet accept the Donald's invitation?
Oh, this is like a would you rather adventure. Well, I love the idea of writing a book with information provided from the listeners, with there being a little cameo from yours truly. I think that's very meta, very clever to put myself in the book. If it was going to be a choose your own adventure, I mean, the only problem with that would be that, of course, Harriet would. Of course she would, wouldn't she? She'd be a fool not to.
Just to clarify, Harriet, are you thinking this book would be a kind of if the Donald needs a certain club, and then Harriet suggests a wide wedge, skip to page 9, you find out whether or not he actually manages to get the hole in one. Otherwise,
that's very
is it that
clever.
kind of? Because that is something I could get behind. That sounds quite fun.
Yeah, that is fun, isn't it?
I'm not sure whether cheerleader / Britney Spears outfit would come into it, but
no, I'm not sure
as a
about that.
golfing
I mean, that does
enthusiast.
feel sort of potentially quite a degrading thing to do, but also, it's just sort of Donald, isn't it? He's kind of fun like that, and I can imagine with him, it's sort of degrading, but in a charming way.
Yes. The best kind of degrading.
Yes, charmingly degrading.
Yeah.
reassuringly
absolutely.
offensive.
Yeah.
Yes, reassuringly offensive.
Predictably
absolutely
awful.
gorgeous.
That's the kind of thing you can just Consistency, that's what's key, isn't it? That's what everyone wants.
Kindly grim.
Kindly grim, yes.
Well, that's a very
And these,
good
of course, these
outline
could all
that he
be
does.
chapters of the book.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
reviews of the book as well, possibly. We'll see how that
No,
goes down.
I like it. I like it, Lynn. I think I like the sort of choose your own adventure aspect of it.
Yeah.
And also, you're right. It does, the more I think about it, it does raise some interesting questions. Obviously, who wouldn't want to be a caddy for Donald Trump?
Yes.
But would I want to dress like Britney Spears? And which Britney Spears are we talking,
Well, she
Oh,
did
wait,
say
it's Britney
that
Spears and Hit Me Baby. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Is
yeah, I can do that. I can be a naughty
I'm not
schoolgirl.
mistaken. Yes, less of a cheerleader, more of a inappropriately dressed member of the
Caddy.
Well, you both as a caddy and
it could
as,
get all
as
quite.
a,
It could all get quite
as a
toxic.
school child. You wouldn't want to be slipping under
sorry.
on the on the golf pitch, would you?
Sorry,
Would you call it a golf pitch?
I'm just realizing that Ishan's told a joke.
Yes.
I didn't get it.
And then-
I didn't get it, but I get it
and
now.
then you'd be the caddy, and then you'd have to climb his Trump tower.
It's suddenly got quite seedy.
No, I don't
hasn't it?
like that, Ishan.
Okay.
No, I don't. That's not very nice.
Maybe I
The
should.
only Trump tower I will be climbing is on top of my husband, Jonathan.
Right.
Maybe I should Mar-a-Lago out of here.
Oh, Ishan.
I saved it, didn't I? I
You saved
there.
it.
Yeah.
You saved it.
Yes.
You pulled it back from the brink,
Yes,
Ishan.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Very
I
good.
pulled out just
Well,
at the right time.
Oh, Ishan,
Okay.
stop it. You're so naughty.
We're going to move on now. First of all, thank you, Lynn, for that
Thank you, Lynn.
suggestion. And we will accept more suggestions as we go. But we have an actual contribution for the novel, a
Oh,
broadcastable contribution. I mean, we had a lot where Harriet walked around the golf course without shoes on, but I'm not sure they count as erotic. And also, they were mostly cartoons. But thank you to Alex for this, which seems to be written from the point of view of Donald Trump, which I guess makes sense, as he's hardly likely to write a book from anyone else's point of view. Okay. So
Are you,
I guess
are
I'll
you
just...
going to do the voice, Producer Martin?
Do the voice.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. Okay, so this is Trump. I strided onto... Oh, sorry, I'll come in again.
Sorry, does he have some sort of learning difficulty?
No, this is... I strided onto... No, he's gone a bit woody.
Oh, it's Christopher Walken.
I should have probably practiced before I got to this
Martin, I
point,
didn't know you
shouldn't
could do Christopher Walken.
No, give me a chance here now. Be kind. Hashtag be kind. So here we go. This is Donald Trump from his point of view. Okay, so just remember I'm being Donald Trump. I strided onto the golf grass with my huge golf bat. It was much bigger than anyone else's by far, especially Obama's. I looked down to see nothing and was very confused. And then a beautiful young lady walked up to me. I know it's not particularly correct. It's not politically correct to say a woman is beautiful anymore, but I do anyway. She bent down in front of me and put a golf bat at my feet. I looked up and said, "Now you have a ball."
It's very good, Martin. Martin,
Yes.
it's sort of a hybrid between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Christopher Walken.
And they're both they've joined the New York Mafia. That's what I like.
Yes.
about it. It's
Yes.
very
Yes.
Boston to New York Mafia.
Let me continue because it does
Yes.
it does get better in a way.
Yes.
She bent down in front of me and put a golf ball at my feet, looked up and said, "Now you have a ball." I replied, "Hey lady, do you like peeing? Because urinate." And then in brackets it says urinate. I think that's the suggest. It's a pun. Play on
Oh,
words.
I see. It's not urinate. It's urinate.
Well, it is. It's both. It's a
Hey,
joke
lady,
'cause
do you
it's-
like peeing? Because urinate.
Urinate. I think
because
I
That's very
it's
clever.
just
to
That
play
is
on
very
words.
clever. I think my only issue with that is there was no PP tape.
Well, it hasn't. We haven't finished yet, so I'll just get to the end, and then I suppose we can properly assess this contribution.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been less aroused.
Well, just you wait, Ishan, because there might be something for you coming up. She fainted into my handsome and awe-inspiring midst, and then a big, tough guy, strong guy, came up to me with tears in his eyes. He was crying tears of joy, and he said to me, Sir, I've never cried in my life, even as a baby, but I can't believe what you're doing to this country, sir. I replied, I totally won the 2020 election by a landslide, but no one ever talks about it. It's a disgrace. And then the woman awakened back up and said, I could be your running mate against Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, sir. I replied, I'm going to have to give this a second run because it's very difficult to get this pun in, but I replied, I'd Kamala over your face anytime. And she fainted again. So do we have any thoughts about it? Is that, I feel a bit dirty.
Beautiful. What a beautifully written piece. Really beautiful writing. I
don't know who the performance.
I'm not a professional actor, so I haven't. It's not on my.
You're not a professional.
Not
anything,
in my
really.
purview to have a ready to go, broadcastable Donald Trump impression.
But I think getting back to
we're not
story,
assessing the impression there, Ishan. I think it's
story. I really like it, and I love the idea of there being a sexy young lady who is going to be his running mate.
Yeah,
and I think what's going to happen is she'll be his running mate.
Yes,
and then the sexual tension will be too much, and he'll grab her in a romantic way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the running mate could come from some sort of broadcasting background.
Oh, do you think so? Maybe someone who's not afraid to tell the truth.
Yeah, maybe someone who, in the face of adversity, always stands up for the voiceless.
Maybe someone who's not afraid to stand up for the little guy.
Yes.
For the guy who only has 1 or 2 shows on TV.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I feel like we're what you're suggesting is it be Harriet, but we're getting further and further away from her in terms of the descriptions that we're giving. So,
well, do you know what? It doesn't have to be me, Martin. It could be someone called Harriet.
Oh.
Maybe she's the heroine of the story. Harriet Blangley Blinden.
Yes, and I like that because there's a bit of a connection to Sharia law, and as we know, Harriet would love that.
Oh, okay. I don't think we want that in the.
I think actually what Ishan's flagging up here is a very interesting consideration about this crowdsourced book, which is, when you've got lots of different people all chipping in ideas, is there? Yes. On one hand, you've got a problem with making sure everyone is credited. There's going to be a big sort of note about the author.
You don't have to credit people. It's going to
take up several pages.
We can set up some criteria.
You run the risk of having too many cooks in a way, and taking us on quite a wild and unpleasant journey, which is probably not what we're looking for.
So you know what had just be me and my ghostwriter?
No. Do you know what had too many cooks? The Bible, and it's the best book ever written.
Oh, amen to that.
And finally, a question from Julie here, who asks...
Hello, Julie.
Oh, hello, Julie. Yeah, she asks, what are your plans for the summer? Just a nice little question there. Nice little question about our summer plans.
Well, Julie, I am going up to the Wokie Edinburgh Fringe. I'm taking a show which I'm taking part in with a lovely MP who really wants to spread the word, and we're performing to all those little Wokie theatre goers, and we're trying to change their minds. And that's on at the Pleasance Courtyard. So, Julie, if you're there, come by if you want to hear the truth about everything.
Yes, absolutely.
How about you, Ishan Akbar?
Well, I'm slightly nervous about answering this question because I don't know whether Julie is catfishing us to find out where we really are and whether she wants to come into the studio and take our secrets.
Oh, that's a very dark sort of reading of the situation. But you're right to be wary. You are right to be wary, I suppose.
You never know.
But
you never know.
In case she isn't, I'm happy to inform you that I'm going on holiday to Canada with a very special friend who I've not been able to see for a little while. She has been quite busy, but she's said that this time she's available to come with me. So it could be quite a special summer for me.
How lovely.
It sounds nice.
How exciting.
That's good.
Yeah, she's good. She said her partner, her husband, who she's looking to leave soon, is going to stay in his shed and do some stuff around the house. What are you up to, Martin?
I've got to say, Sean, I was a little bit worried that you were going to say something about my wife again. There's all some elaborate sort of cruel thing, but I thankfully will not be in my shed. I'll be up at the Edinburgh Fringe with Harriet, making sure that our recording goes ahead. I've also got a job as a runner on a couple of shows there, a couple of parody shows. Buffy Revamped, which is going to be on at the Pleasance at 8:15, and Friend, the one with Gunther, which is going to be at the Gilded Balloon at 4 p.m. So I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, so you'll be away for a month, will you?
Well, yeah. So I'll be away for a month working on the shows and recording the podcast, but not in a shed, crucially. So what?
I'll be away for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure I will.
Don't say it like that.
Producer Martin, what's Jane up to with the kids while you're away?
Well, I'll actually be taking the kids up to Edinburgh. So, it's a fun little trip. I mean, it's a bit more to manage, but, I love them. And
she'll be kid-free.
Around.
Yeah.
Kid-free, absolutely. More time to just focus on the book, really. I think that's the plan.
Is she doing a writer's retreat at all? Then maybe Canada somewhere?
Yeah, I try not to pry too much because, it's good to have your space.
Good.
Especially when working on a creative work.
Well, Martin, as long as those little ones are not getting in the way of our recordings, that's all I'd say. Well, that's it for this week. Please do tweet about it and thread about it and Facebook about it and Blue Sky about it and Mastodon about it. Just tell people, basically. Thank you to Rosie Holt, Brendan Murphy, Ishan Akbar and Ed Morrish. We'll be back next week for more Non-Censored.